Welcome back to Dolor Factor Live. We have just a short time for any calls, but I'm going to go through some of the emails. Here's one. While I watch this interesting program of your life achievements, I'm reminded of my dad, who always sings your praises. I do not think you know him, but your mom was a dear friend of his, as she took him in while he studied at St Mary's College. He has always told me how he was actually present at your birth. He has had opportunities at functions to come up to you, and more recently last year at a wedding at your hotel. However, he is a humble man and always shies away. God bless you anyway and continue to guide you. I don't know if you know who they're talking about.
Yes, I know exactly who it is.
Wow,
they actually
okay.
came up to me and said I always wanted to come and say thank you because your mom took me, and that was her. And probably my now it stayed with me that I always somehow champion of the underdog, and it doesn't matter how little we had back then. She always took in people. There was always somebody staying at the house. I came and there were a couple of kids eating at the table, so whatever little we cooked, she believed in sharing because there was somebody else worse off than us. And all our lives, that and stayed with me today. I don't know people who come to me and they want help, they want me to assist them, they want a listening ear. A couple young ladies actually about 3 years ago, one was actually committing suicide, and she decided to come and talk to me, and thank God I was able to talk to her and counsel her and meet with her.
Do you find it difficult is the wrong word, but is it stressful to you when you have such a huge responsibility as general manager of Bay Gardens Beach Resort and Spa? It's a huge one, because I always say to people, when you're at the top, I think it's harder to maintain being at the top. So you have that responsibility. You have your responsibilities as a senator. You have the responsibilities of all the other committees that you sit on. You have been a marvelous woman in terms of first for so many things, and yet people still see you as a person that they can sit down and come and
Delia,
talk
it's
about their life.
ongoing. Somebody has a marketing idea. Somebody has a tourism idea. Somebody wants to open a business. What do I think? Can I help them? How is this going to work out? I mean, it's constant. It's on a daily basis. Lately, what I've been getting a lot of are the young kids doing their, I think it's SBAs, and a majority of them are doing tourism, and they come and they say, the mothers call and say, my daughter really wants, she has this project and she wants to do you. And I have to say they all end up getting A's, even some of the secondary school students and some wonderful college students. They say, come, we want to do the project on you, and then they come back and call me and say, guess what, I got an A+, I got 100%, but it takes time. So I'd sit with them and help them and give them information. So I like helping people. Yes, it does take a lot of my time and fortune sometimes, and if they come and I'm in a meeting, sometimes some of them probably get a little bit upset. But like you said, I have a job to do sometimes. It's not always possible to meet with them. But I just love people, helping them, listening to them. That's what a lot of people need, somebody to listen to them, make them feel important, and make them feel that, there's somebody who cares.
Did you feel any differently, Berthia? Because I know that you've, please accept my sympathies, but I know that you lost your mom recently, and that also your husband has been, in some poor health recently. Have those two things changed the person that you was at those times? It's
made me stronger. It's made me probably in so many ways more spiritual. I have learned so much. I've learned to, patience, because in both cases I had to have that patience. Very tolerant, made certain adjustments to my life, but at the same time, because of what I'm going through, I do need that outlet. I just need my me time to be with me. It is very difficult, especially when you watch both people that you love, because my mom went blind. When I got the phone call that day and she said, I can't stay on my own anymore, I said, oh boy, that's it. So obviously I had to take care, and she lived with me for about 4 years before she died, 4 or 5 years. And to see somebody that was vibrant, that cooked for me and went to the market and, cooked my favorite things and bought me stuff, and just not able to help herself, it's painful. And even now, watching my husband, for example, and just not able to help himself. I'd like us to talk a little bit more about that, but we've actually had some calls holding on, so let's see if we still have them. I'm sorry to keep you holding. Are you still with us on the line?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mrs. Parle, and I'm the host of the show.
Yeah. Hi.
Good evening.
Well, I'm calling. I heard you said something, Mrs. Parle, and then I can attest to that. I have known you for more than 20 years. You have given me opportunities in the past, at the Capones. And what you said a little earlier on with regard to the younger kids, the younger generation wanting instant gratification. I am an employer today. And then,
congratulations, I'm very pleased. You learned something then.
I once had, in excess of 110 employees.
Wow.
Okay. And then what you're saying, I came from the bottom myself. I remember working as an apprentice, in doing plumbing and other areas where, I worked months without any pay. And then it was because of my my determination and then, my willingness to learn, even if I didn't get paid. And then it is something that we need to encourage the kids, the younger generation, that, you have to learn first before you can start to earn. That's correct.
And rather than stay at home and do nothing, maybe come in and volunteer to come in and learn a skill. And like you said, for no money, and then who knows, you would have done so well, they might just end up keeping you.
It is something that I keep telling, my employees. A medical student will go to school for many years. They have to pay to go to school to learn, and then they can start earning. So, even in our very own hemisphere, our surroundings, that whatever we want to do, then we must show that willingness. We need to display that.
I agree with you, and I think if each one of us would, somehow, maybe if it's 2 or 3 or 4 young persons, we can get and work with them and mentor them and help them, 100 of us, that's 400 kids, and see if there can be attitudinal changes, and they can listen, and in our own way we can try and change things around as best as we can.
All right. Thank
you. So I thought I'd just call and...
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thanks for the call. And I hope everything's going well with your business.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Right, you were talking about your husband and the things that you learned.
Because all of a sudden, there's somebody who was so active, and all of a sudden, it's a whole different person. So it's an adjustment, and realizing that sometimes the things that they do, they have no control over it. It's just part of the illness that they're actually doing these things. So you really have to be patient. Like I said, you really have to be caring, making them as comfortable as possible, doing everything within your power to ensure that, life is manageable as best as it can, and not to somehow lose your cool and get angry and upset, which sometimes can be quite easy. So I've learned, like I said, just, the art of patience, tolerance, doing everything I can, and being strong, and being there for him now, when he needs me, probably more than any other time in his life.
And I'm sure he's extremely appreciative of it.
Yes, I'm sure he is. Yeah.
All right, well,
thank you.
As we go to the break, I'm actually going to leave you with a statement that someone has made, so you can ponder the answer.
Okay.
When we get back.
I can't wait for that statement. Oh my God! I wonder who is that.
I know we don't have much time.
I wonder who this is.
Okay. This person is saying, Mrs. Parle, as an individual who has been around for 2 months, she's been around you for 2 months, I find you are a great role model to our society. So I would like to know why you haven't considered running up for elections in St Lucia. And with that said, this is DBS. We'll be back quite soon.